Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Thursday edition of the Auburn Blitz. Brett and David here with you for your lunch hour, and glad that you've joined us out there. A program brought to you by Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, Big Fish Real Estate Group at Lake Martin, Russell Dewitt Center, and Building Supply Stores and J.A. Smith Construction, both residential and commercial. David, good to see you here on this rainy Thursday. You can just bank on it. About every 4 or 5 days, you're going to get a downpour.
Yeah.
Got more rain coming this afternoon, so looks like Saturday will be really nice, and so we just got to hang on and get through it. But a ton to talk about here today on the program. You can call us 256-234-6221 to be part of the program. You can comment away on Facebook Live. That's Sports Blitz. That's Sports with a Z, and we'd love to hear from you there. Thing that we were talking about coming in here was the fact that it was out there that Devin Cambridge might be looking at coming back. Now, he's looking at some other options. But it's not really more about Devin Cambridge I wanted to talk about, David. This is a wild – every time we talk about this transfer portal, you know, it just kind of makes me want to pull my hair out. And, you know, I talked to a coach the other day, and, you know, you saw the Creighton coach come out and say, you know, I kind of found these kids and I helped develop these kids, and now I've been rated by the portal. And Randy and I had a talk on Lake Martin Sports Roundup yesterday about there's a two-way street to this thing, and I get that too. But I mean, Cambridge leaves for a year, and then we're gonna come back. I mean, he's a good player. He had a good year, but I mean, you just can't keep anything consistent.
That boggles the mind. And you know, I asked you the question: can he come back? I thought you had a one shot in the portal, and you getting online and researching that. We don't really know exactly what the rule is right now. I guess he could come back.
Well, it said that it says on here, and back, you know, last year in August, unless there's been something that has happened that we're not aware of, basically said the board opted not to enact a new exception to the transfer rules that would allow student athletes to transfer multiple times and be immediately eligible.
Mm-hmm.
I
thought it was a one-year sit deal.
I mean, that's what I thought too. So I mean, if he come, what would he?
Why would he come back? I think it's just a rumor, Brett. I know Zep Jasper put something out on a tweet. Of course, you know, nowadays social media, you know, somebody says something, everybody takes it as the gospel.
No doubt.
And so I don't know that would happen. You know, another thing I know we're going to talk about today probably is Alan Flanagan being listed on the official roster.
Jalen Williams too, because neither have said what they're going to do, but both are listed as grad students now. I think everybody feels like Jalen Williams would come back, but Alan Flanagan's dad leaves and goes to Ole Miss, so you know what? Just because your dad goes and it becomes an employee somewhere, it doesn't mean you go.
People assume.
People, but it's rightfully so. Yeah. I mean, I get it, but
let me,
you know, maybe Alan Flanagan likes Bruce Pearl's system, maybe, and he's been, like you've said, a bunch. He gives these kids free reign to do whatever they want to do, and maybe he wants to enroll in grad school and have this extra year.
Yeah, I mean, he's built a relationship with some of the guys that are still there. And look, let me say this, and you beat this drum as loud as anybody. You're apt to do that.
I won't beat a drum now.
We were so frustrated with Flan,
right?
You know, early in the year.
Yeah,
I mean, good gosh. I mean, but look, if Allen continues to work in the off season,
he got better at the end of the year.
Bruce, yeah, he did. Bruce works these guys in the off season. I'm telling you, they work hard. If he'll put in another off season and come back and be even better, I don't have a problem with Alan Flanagan being on the roster again. At first, I said let him go, but he's a tremendous athlete. And if he can continue to improve, I don't really have a problem with him being back on the roster.
So let's look at it. All right, Aiden Holloway coming in. You just pick up Denver Jones. Trey Donaldson will be back. Alan Flanagan pretty much plays that position Denver Jones plays. You know, I know you want to try to get your best players on the floor. I think Jalen Williams, Janai Broome will be on the floor. You know, it's a good thing to have, you know, depth, but where do these pieces fall into place? Because I think Aiden Holloway is going to come in and play immediately. I mean, I think he's that good. He's going to be a freshman, Matt Donald's All-American that came in and showed out in that game and, you know, really showcased why he's one of the top shooting guards, point guards / in the country. I thought Trey Donaldson got better. Saw him get more minutes. He made some really, really key strides there in the playoffs, in the tournament. You had a prolific scorer like Denver Jones in the mix. Who you gonna pick to put in your backcourt?
Yeah, Denver Jones will be on the floor.
Of course,
day
he will.
one. Okay?
Right.
But here's the other thing, Brett. Bruce Pearl, he will tell these guys.
Right.
Sit down. Let me talk to you. Here's your role. Here's what you're looking at. And then from that point, they make the decision. So, and somebody said, well, it's just giving Allen an opportunity to, you know, he's on the roster, but he can still come out and say, look, I've decided to move on.
Yeah,
It's not a done deal.
Go pro too.
Not a done deal.
No, it's not. Nothing officially has been announced by any of those players that we just talked about, you know, or the university. So we'll kind of follow that and see. But I did think that was kind of odd to see that come across. But nowadays, I'm not really. Nothing should shock you.
No.
When you see anything, and then of course, what followed up right after that. Oh, well, I'm hearing Bo Nix might come back to Auburn because he likes his system.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, stuff just starts to
I'd have dropped the phone.
Things just start to balloon to the point. It was bigger than that Chinese balloon that floated across the country. Right. So, but anyway, that really, you just cannot trust much of anything you see on social media. That's for sure. Okay, I'll ask you this question. Would you want to see Cambridge come back? He had a pretty good year at Arizona State.
Well, he left for a reason.
Here's another thing.
Well, he wanted to play with his brother, didn't he?
Well, he did, but then also let's take this into fact. A lot of times we assume that we know what maybe went down. And like you said, Bruce Pearl is known for sitting down one-on-one with players and saying, here's the deal. And I think –
complete honesty.
I think he told Devin Cambridge because he had such a poor shooting year. And he even mentioned it in some interviews. He's like, we've got to be better at that position shooting the basketball. We can – because Devin Cambridge was horrible. Let's be honest about it. The year before is shooting threes. And they kick it in the corner or kick it out on the wing, and he'd be wide open, and he'd brick it. I mean, he just didn't have he had a horrible shooting year. And he went to Arizona State, and he became one of the better three-point shooters in the country. I mean, you don't know why things happen the way they do. You know, the year before that, Cambridge was pretty solid. And so Bruce, I think, had a conversation with him based off of what I think through those interviews. He said, look, you know, if you stay, you're going to come off the bench. We've got to have somebody that's shooting the ball at a better percentage than you are in that position. And I think he thought Chance Westry was going to be that guy. And Chance Westry blew his knee out.
Yeah.
So it was kind of thought of that way, and I don't think it was hard feelings. I think he was just being honest. And I may be totally off here, but I think I'm on to something here. And I think he said, look, maybe you want to go explore some other options where you could get on the floor more. And his brother went to Arizona State, and he thought, well, maybe this is a good opportunity for us to play together. So
here's the thing about Bruce, Brett. How many times now? These players all say the same thing when they leave. I want to thank.
I know.
But how many times have you heard of a player through back channels that was just totally disgusted with the way he got treated by Bruce Pearl? Zero. Now the Powell kid that went to Tennessee, he's been to so many schools now.
He's like
dizzy.
on a daggum merry-go-round.
But yeah, and we don't know all that deal on that deal. But
I know
Bruce,
a lot of it.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, and just
we'll talk later.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well,
some things you can't help. Some things you can't help.
It don't surprise me. But Bruce is totally brutally honest. And while we're in the first segment, before we dive any deeper, Randy called me out Monday, and Randy was right.
He called you out. What did he call you out on?
Y'all were talking about the mid-range.
Oh, yeah.
He said,
yeah.
David,
when I told you, I thought of you.
Right.
Yeah, he did call you
But
out.
Randy said, David, I hear you, but it's about the percentages. Now,
It is.
I want to qualify that. Because, Randy, I've coached the Princeton offense. I can sit down and talk Princeton offense with anybody, you know. The difference is this, Brett. My perspective is from Auburn. Am I the only one that's sick and tired of forced outside shots and crazy inside shots with a guy?
Here's where I think both of y'all are missing each other on this, and I'm gonna kind of step in and be the intermediary.
Okay.
I think what your frustration is what I said is everybody feels like they got to get downhill regardless if there's 4 people at the rim and try to make a shot. The luxury of the ability to be able to pull up and hit a shot from 10 to 15 foot is kind of what you're saying, I think. Not saying that, because I do think the mid-range jump shot has evaporated from the game. That's not what people do because analytics are studied, and if you're out this far, why not be outside the three-point line if you're going to shoot? But I think having the ability to show the defense, the reason a lot of them will sit there and hover around the rim is they go, I know that guy ain't going to pull up and shoot no jump shots. I'm going to get as deep as I can and protect this rim.
Yeah.
But if you pull up 2 or 3 times and shoot somebody's eyeballs out, now they got to come out and start respecting that. Now that might open up a little bit better room for you to get to the ring.
Well, that is right. Scouting's part of it. But if you're on, Randy mentioned Rick Pitino and he mentioned Bucky McMillan, okay?
Right.
Either one of those systems, if you force shots, you know where you're going to be?
Bench.
On the goddamn bench.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm talking about if you just shoot threes and layups and they're open, I ain't got a problem with that. But we don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I don't know that any of our guys are capable of even shooting a mid-range jumper. So their only option is get to the rim in between 4 guys and just take the chance. Most of the time you end up on the floor.
And it's ugly.
Yeah,
So
is.
let's add a guy that can. Denver Jones, hello.
Just see what we can do.
I love you, Randy.
He probably won't ever shoot a mid-range jump shot. He'll be like, I thought this guy could shoot mid-range jumper. He ain't taking one since he got
Bruce
here.
gonna let me hit 3, man.
Exactly. I'm going to shoot way out here by the logo. Stay tuned. More Auburn Blitz right after this.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
SCAG, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that SCAG means productivity and reliability. Every SCAG mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. SCAG.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here on this Thursday. 45 minutes left in today's show. You can give us a call, 256-234-6221. I know a lot of people want to know about the recruiting. And again, not basketball. We're going to shift over and talk a little bit about football because A-Day and spring practice just wrapped up. And our good friends at 24/7 and Auburn Undercover, Jason Caldwell, do a great job of really getting you quality information, and encourage you to subscribe to them. And just wonderful information, gives you all the top inside know of what's going on in the program. But they were able to recap with some of the top recruits that Auburn had visit during the spring. And
the list is so short.
I'm still scrolling.
I know.
I mean, I still hadn't found the bottom of this list, and I think there was as many players there watching as we had on our roster currently.
Yeah, people in the stands.
Well, yeah, there wasn't many there. Wasn't 16,000 like they said. You know what? They fabricate those numbers from time
I didn't
to
think you
time.
could squeeze 16,000 up under that overhang.
I guess they tried. I just they were all double stacked in there. You know, I think if you look at some of these kids. I know one that's in the 2025 class that everybody's going to be eyeballing. He's committed to Alabama right now, but you look at a 5-star wide receiver, Ryan Williams from Saraland, who was MVP of the state championship this past year as a sophomore. He's got 2 more years at Saraland. And Randy and I both have said this.
You called that game, didn't you?
I did.
Okay.
Randy and I both think he could be as good as, if not better than Julio Jones by the time it's said and done, coming out of high school. And that's big words, because Julio Jones may be one of the best prospects to ever come out of this state. And I remember Tommy Wood, a good friend of ours, telling me when Julio Jones was a sophomore in high school, he said, "Brett, there's this kid down in Foley." He said, "You're going to remember his name. His name's Julio Jones." And he said, he's going to be something else. Well, good Lord, boy, no doubt. So I give Tommy props for saying that. It's such, because in sophomore you don't hear a lot about that. But guess who's a sophomore this past year? Yeah. Ryan Williams.
You got time for a Julio Jones story?
Why
real
not?
Quick.
Right, real quick.
I coached against Julio in basketball. He was on Foley's JV.
Okay.
We're beating Foley by 1 point at Gulf Shores. We foul Julio like a bunch of idiots. Okay?
You're not going to mention the kid that fouled him.
No, I'm not. Okay? So we're up 1. He misses the first free throw. It was a shooting foul. I said, whatever you do, block out Julio. Okay? He takes the second shot. He wasn't a very good shooter. He's an athlete. Right. He missed the second shot, Brett. My guy didn't even have time to think about getting that foot down in the lane. Julio runs through everybody we got, rises over everybody, takes the rebound, lays it in at the buzzer. They beat us. What do you do? You just shake your head.
Sometimes.
But I watched him play football. Yeah. Tommy's right. He was, you knew.
Right.
And you know.
And I do. And the reason I say this is that Ryan Williams, I mean, he really kind of single-handedly beat Mountain Brook. And Mountain Brook's a really good football team. And I thought, you know, he finally got over the hump and got to the state championship game. And but Ryan Williams just too much for.
He just put on a show.
He did. Man. I mean, scored 3 touchdowns and just made it look easy. But, you know, he's an Auburn legacy. His dad played at Auburn. You know, you look at Auburn and Georgia really, really, really working hard on trying to flip him from Alabama. So, again, here's the advantage I think Auburn has. He's a sophomore.
Yeah.
If he'd have been a senior this past year, we wouldn't have had a chance. Brian Harsin, you know, if you'd asked Brian Harsin who Ryan Williams was, he'd been who? and so Hugh Freeze and his staff, you've seen the quick work they've been able to do in a very small amount of time with getting a Walker White and getting some of these guys to come in and commit at the last minute when they really had not very much time on the ground at Auburn, but really busted their rear end, went after somebody they thought was a priority, and were able to land them. Well, Ryan Williams is going to be a guy that Auburn, I'm not saying they'll get him, but I'm saying that they are going to put a full court press on for the next 2 years for Ryan Williams. Georgia's going to do it. Alabama knows what they got to hold on to, so they're going to be showing the love as well. But you look at the synopsis here, so Marcus Davis, Hugh Freeze, looking to bring a guy like Ryan Williams in to change the mentality of that position. They know what kind of a game-changing player he is. Here's Ryan Williams' quote from this past week. Another great visit. I really enjoyed myself today, and I'm pretty sure my family enjoyed themselves today too. Definitely, like always, the brotherhood here. Practice was exciting. The receivers made a lot of great plays. Just an overall great day, talking about A-Day. Look, you know, I think Auburn's definitely in the mix now. I don't think they were with the previous staff at all. I think they are now.
I think that Auburn will make it very difficult for him to say no to us, even though he's committed to Alabama.
That's right. You know. Well, and again, Auburn has what's going for them is he's a sophomore. You got 2 more years to really put a press on. If this kid would have been, you know, even a junior, I would have said I think it would have been a long shot. But, you know, you're going to have a full 2 years to get on him. Another big-time 5-star is Zayden Walker, Zycavius Walker's brother, who's on the team right now. Big-time linebacker, just one of the guys you want. I mean, everybody wants him. You know, his quote is, "After this visit, I can say Auburn definitely impressed." He said it kind of upped them a little bit more. So, again, this is a kid that's a priority in a priority position for Auburn.
Is he committed to anybody, Brett?
No,
okay.
He's not.
Okay.
So, his brother's on the team.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean he comes there, but
Doesn't
hurt. Dang sure don't hurt.
No.
And you know, I think Zycavius Walker, he looks the part. He hadn't been able to get on the field as much as I think a lot of people would like, but you know, we'll see how it all kind of plays out. Definitely doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
So, got some more quotes from some of these players, these recruits, top recruits, the 24-25 classes, even beyond that. When we come back, stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road, 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
No monthly payments for 90 days at Glenn Smith Buick GMC in Opelika. New GMC Sierra Crew Cabs discounted up to $10,000 off. New GMC Terrains up to $5,250 off. And new Buick Encore GX up to $4,750 off. Shop online anytime at glennsmith.com. That's GLYNN Smith.com.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the ground or on the way. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Halfway through the program here. Brett and David, get your calls in. 256-234-6221. If you'd like to call us, if you'd like to comment, it's open there on Facebook Live. We'd love to hear from you. Just an update on some more visitors coming in this weekend. 5-star athlete Terry Bussey. Looks like he'll be making a visit to Auburn. Big-time player out in the state of Texas, was offered back on March 22nd. We'll make a visit and a little mini recruiting trip he's got planned. visiting Tennessee on Friday, Alabama on Saturday, and then ending up with Auburn on Sunday. So we'll see kind of how that plays out. But right now, according to 24/7, number 17 overall player in the country, number 1 athlete in the country when he's listed in that athlete position there, and the number 4 player in the state of Texas. Accolades everywhere. He also plays baseball, basketball, registered a 10.66 100 time. So you were asking, can he fly? I think that answers the question. Not a big kid, 5'10", 5'10 and a half, 180 pounds, but solid. I mean, speed, obviously, to burn.
Who's the one we had a couple of years ago that was about that size that could just absolutely fly? Actually made an NFL roster. Somebody help me.
Which I'm
one of our wideouts at Auburn.
It's not.
Just could fly. Was on the track.
Oh, you talking about Sportz, Anthony Sportz. Yeah,
Sportz.
Flash. Talking about Flash. Yeah. Anthony Sportz.
Sportz-ish with that kid.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Again, big time. Again, I think the overall picture of this, David, and what we're talking about here is that Auburn is concentrating on making it a priority, again, to get the type of players that Auburn needs to be competitive in this league. We just haven't been doing that.
And we ain't near there yet, but we're going to get there.
All right, Ed said 20% relationship, 80% NIL. If Bama really wants him, how much is Auburn willing to pony up? Well, we'll see.
Well, first of all, that's sad. If that's the percentage.
Well, no, I think it is, though. I think Ed's right. I think that's where these top players are now. I think you're naive, David. I really do, if you think it's otherwise. Now, you may have a rarity. You may have a rare situation where a kid's like, well, my allegiance and all is more to this place rather than what I'm getting. I don't think it. I think he's pretty spot on.
Well, maybe, but when these kids visit someplace, of course they're not going to come out and say anything about NIL,
right.
But when they mention family and community and all of that, that's relationship. So
right.
And these top players, they're going to make their money anyway down the road probably. But I mean, most of these kids are probably coming in now with a parent or an advisor saying, "Let's talk dollars."
Of course, they're talking dollars.
So
if you're a 5-star guy right now, I mean, that's the world that we've shaped. That's the world we have made for college athletics.
Yeah.
That's
I'm not saying I disagree or that I'm naive. I'm saying it's sad.
Marvin said a lot of smoke out there that Ryan Williams will reclassify to 24. I definitely heard that too, but I mean, nothing firm on that. I don't know that for a fact. No. So there is talk of that, though. Again, kind of going back to what we talk about, man, there's so much information out there online that, sometimes it's hard to decipher what's true and what's not. He hasn't come out and said anything really on that, anything I've seen. Ed said Freeze is doing 3 NIL commercials a week for some reason. Yeah, I mean, he understands.
We know the reason.
Daggum right. And, you look at, and I hate to look back because it makes me want to throw up every time, but the lack of what Brian Harsin was doing. I mean, we had kids in this state didn't even know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy over at Auburn. I mean, literally, this is not a made-up story, David. There was some recruits that said, yeah, the coach at Auburn, Brian Hansen, I believe is his name. I'm like, this guy is so far out of the mindset of these recruits. We're not going to get anybody. And I think I said this to Randy yesterday or day before yesterday. How could we have afforded to keep that guy one more year? I mean, could you imagine how much more damage would have been done if I don't know if we'd have had a roster.
Well, here, and see if you agree with me on this, Brett. I think you will. Look, and I was being an Auburn guy. No, here's the deal. That coup and all that stuff that was going on.
They knew more than we did.
They saw early on
that it was a terrible mistake.
This is a mistake.
And I'm going to tell you what the biggest smoke and mirrors were that sucked all of us in was that start of the season and beating Arkansas on the road and going, and I thought, what were we, 6-2?
Mm-hmm.
And number 15 in the country? And everybody's like, boy, this guy turning around. And from the outside, it looked like, man, why would anybody want to get rid of this guy?
Yeah.
He's turning us around. Meanwhile, we were all like, well, maybe recruiting to pick up. We're winning right now, but maybe recruit. And then the wheels fell off, went and won another game, and looked about as bad as you could look in a bowl game.
And he just, and your famous quote, 20 million broad daylight,
oh, yeah,
which I love.
Stolen broad daylight.
Ought to be a T-shirt with that on it. But there was a recruit, Brett, that somebody interviewed. I think it was Jason, and the kid said, "I didn't meet Coach Harsin this weekend on the trip." How?
Yeah,
in the world?
Well, yeah, he was there for 2 days and never met him.
Yeah.
Never saw the head coach.
Yeah.
Well, that's a travesty. I mean, and Scott said it Friday. He said, look, they should have taken him to – they should have fired him and said, look, we ain't paying you a dime.
Because.
Well, right, because you derelicted duties.
Yeah.
You didn't do crap.
Yeah.
You neglected your job. Your contract was to do this, and you didn't do it.
Look, Brett, he knew at that particular point that he knew it was over. He stopped. He stopped working.
Ed said the 21 players that transferred out after Harsin's first year, I owe them an apology for bad-mouthing them. I think we all did. God,
yeah,
none of us knew.
I'm with you on that, Ed.
Alan Green, right there.
There's the crux.
He's the dadgum problem, man.
Yeah, there's the crux of it.
All right, stay tuned. More Auburn Blitz right after this.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
LMG Ad Agency is the go-to vendor for all your digital and print marketing needs. We have in-house production for all projects, including graphic design, web design, social media marketing, videography, and print marketing. Our video production is up to industry standard with modern 4K cameras and drone capabilities. We pride ourselves in client-committed relationships, and every project is personalized to your needs. Visit lmgadagency.com for a free quote today. Let us tell your story.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
WF Cabinetry in Alex City has immediate openings for first and second shift production roles in addition to immediate openings for Class A CDL drivers with the ability to be at home weekly. We're ready for you to join our family and grow with us. Prior cabinet experience is always welcome. Second shift offers a flexible 10-hour, 4-day work schedule, giving you a great work-life balance right here at home. WF Cabinetry offers excellent health insurance and 401k benefits as well as an employee purchase discount with daily production bonus opportunities. You can apply in person at 2212 Airport Boulevard in Alexander City or call 256-234-7900.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. A couple segments left in today's show. You can call us 256-234-6221. Our program brought to you by Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, saving you thousands of dollars on your mortgages, your refinancing. Call on them today, and they will definitely help you out. Big Fish Real Estate Group at Lake Martin with a huge team of real estate agents ready to help you find the perfect piece of property, wherever that might be. Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores with 10 locations in Central Alabama for all your home improvement needs, all your building supplies. They're the place to go. They beat the big box stores. And J.E. Smith Construction, residential and commercial, no job too big or small. They will help you out on your personal property, or if you've got commercial property, they're definitely the people to call. So call on them today. Again, just as we come on, or as we went to break, breaking news, you got outbid, David.
It was close.
It was real close, but you had to draw the line in the sand at some place. And Josh Harris's group buys the Washington. God, it pains me to say Commanders because they'll always be the Redskins to me.
Yeah.
Commanders for $6 billion. What if the first thing they did is change the name? Change the name back to the Redskins.
I had to stop at 5'9". That's all I could muster.
And I mean, that was all you could get your hands on liquid. So, but $6 billion, making it the biggest purchase in NFL history. We talked about that. If they sold for $6 billion, if Jerry Jones put the Cowboys up, what would they garner? At least 20, I think.
Cowboys, Patriots, and location has a lot to do with it. I mean, D.C. area, but yeah, $20 billion for the Cowboys, easy.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely think the Cowboys are the most expensive franchise out there.
But like I used to tell Andy, Brett, if they could only see the outtakes of the breaks. So we solve a lot of problems during the break.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
But
Bud Light. Yeah, you're trying to help Bud Light from. Hey, look, and again, I know all this crap going on, but $5 billion they lost this past week. And here's the thing:
$5 billion.
$5 billion. Back in 2008, they sold the Bush family sold Anheuser-Busch for $40 billion. Now I know it's worth probably $100 billion now, but dadgum, they lost $5 billion this past week. If you don't think that was a statement made, you're crazy. I mean, and look, those sales are gone. If they cleared things up and retracted what they did and tried to get their customer base to come back, you're not going to double up on Bud Light. I didn't buy a case last week. I'm going to buy 2 this week.
It's gone. They sold their soul, Brett. That's what they did.
They did. I mean, there's a lot of companies doing that. But anyway, this Harris Group owns the 76ers, NHL's New Jersey Devils, and now owns the Washington Commanders. So $6 billion for the Commanders there.
Who is that?
What is that?
The Sports Blitz comment.
It had to be Luke, I'm sure. Luke or Andy said, I bid $6.2 billion and was going to move them to Alex City. They tore Ampline Stadium down, so the deal was off. So, yeah, it's probably Luke. It'd be
That's probably Lucas.
Yeah, it's probably Luke. But anyway, that's a massive,
incredible
amount of money for. But look, that just shows you what the value of an NFL franchise is.
And then we have to look up who is the Josh Harris group. I don't know who Josh Harris is.
It includes Magic Johnson and a couple other billionaires. Yeah, a group of billionaires.
Yeah.
He ain't no average group.
No.
It's hitting it, and so they had the backing. They pulled the trigger.
And they also own, what'd you say?
I said the New Jersey Devils. And the 76ers.
And the 76ers. And like I told you at the break, they'll probably buy a baseball team now.
Well,
so
they're out there looking.
One of those.
If one of those comes open.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Insane.
Yeah. What'd you do this week? I bought the Washington Commanders. Well, what'd you do? I think I'll just back out of that conversation. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that little tidbit out there because, man, dadgummit. These franchises don't come for sale very long. This guy actually bid on the Denver Broncos a couple years ago. I think he bid $4.65 billion there, and I actually sold for that, I think. So now the Commander's up to 6. Things just gonna keep growing.
But you said Bezos.
Jeff Bezos
could have easily outbid.
Well, of course he could. He's the richest guy in the world.
He just said, nah.
Right.
Changed my mind.
He didn't got any interest in owning the Commander. He's waiting on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones won't sell. He'd never sell.
No,
that.
Jerry Jones ain't.
Jerry Jones is the reason they can't win because he won't go away. If he'd get out of the daggum way, then I think the Cowboys could probably get back to winning.
Control freak, term that comes to mind.
Control freak. Hey, let's shift over to unfortunately, let's shift over to baseball.
Okay.
They lost 6 of 7 now. Heading into Alabama, it was a brutal loss against Georgia Tech. They were down 8-2, and they are actually down 7-2. Fall back, take the lead. Ended up Georgia Tech tying it in the 9th inning. They go to extra innings and get beat 12-8. This pitching, and look, I talked to Jason yesterday, and Florida's number 2 team in the country. And I think Randy and JJ talked about this a little bit yesterday. They walked 13 batters. No, I'm sorry. They walked 18 batters against Tennessee in the last game of that series. They're number 2 in the country.
Yeah. So, and Brett,
I mean,
the 9th inning at Georgia Tech the other night.
But the walk
the leadoff.
Yes.
Single, another walk. Nobody out, bases loaded.
The last 2 games of the Texas A&M series, we walked 13 and 12.
Yeah.
And we walked 13 in the game of 1.
Yeah.
So in 2 games, you walk 25 back. But walks are up everywhere. And I talked to Jason Caldwell, and he said, look, the umpires are under more scrutiny to get these right, so they've tightened their strike zone tremendously. And he said, now you're forcing pitchers in college, even though they're good, to throw it down Broadway to throw a strike. Of course, the batting averages are up, more hits, but the walks are up because, guys are trying not to throw it down the middle to give up a big hit.
That's what it is.
And they're squeezing the zone.
Look, these aluminum bats, they're lightning rods, Brett. We've talked about that. And you can't, these kids have still got to try to work the plate.
But this is
because if you throw it down Broadway, it's over.
Well, this is a pivotal series for both teams. I mean, both of them are sitting there at 4-8 in the league. And Alabama will be at home. They know how important this is, but I think both teams are about dead even. So we'll see how it plays out. Up against the final break of the show. Stay tuned. One more segment right after this.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
At CNT Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Elijah Idol 15, the finale, is happening next Saturday night, April 22nd, in the River Region at Alabama's Little Bit of Texas in Wetumpka. Who will be crowned as the next Elijah Idol? Find out next Saturday.
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
OGS Tournaments. WrestleMarine and State Farm agent Aaron Warren presents Crank for Bank 2023, April 1st through July 4th. Win over $1.5 million in cash and prizes. Over 200 tag bass and 50 tag crappie are waiting on you. All ages are welcome. Fish from the dock, boat, or shores of Lake Martin. Get registered now online at crankforbank.com for only $110 for 13 weeks of fishing. It's Crank for Bank 2023.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Bugs Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bugs Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bugs Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bugsisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Sis Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to hear is true, and the names have been changed because Brubaker Motors has sold to Sons Automotive. You heard right. Brubaker Kia is now Sons Kia of Montgomery. Furthermore, Sons Automotive is a family business with dealerships throughout the Southeast. The name Sons Automotive is synonymous with trust, and they care about the communities they're a part of. They're excited to serve the River Region, and in the interest of justice, you will be served a sentence of big savings. Sons Kia of Montgomery, family owned, family driven.
Welcome back, everyone. Final segment here on the Auburn Blitz, and we can take your calls for the next 7 or 8 minutes. If you'd like to give us a call and take your comments as well. Auburn softball improves to 30-12 on the season with a win over Troy here this past during the week. Won that game 7-5. They got LSU coming up at home this weekend. Remaining SEC games, SEC series. Got to go to Alabama next weekend. South Carolina, and then home Mississippi State. So Alabama 6-6, South Carolina and Mississippi State not burning up the woods by no stretch. So
and we got LSU in there too.
We got LSU. Well, they're coming up this weekend.
Next weekend. This weekend's Alabama.
No, I'm talking about softball.
Oh, you're talking about
yeah, I'm on the softball
I'm
side.
still commiserating over baseball.
Yeah, I'm talking about softball.
I apologize,
bro. No, we got LSU at home. I was just running down. So Auburn 30-12 in softball. with the remaining series, got a midweek game with Jacksonville State and a midweek game with Alabama State mixed in there. Team could easily get to close to 40 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, so we'll see how it all plays out. They've, probably had, I'm just off the hoof looking 3, 6, 9, 12. They got 14 games left. They could easily get to 40. Yeah, they could get 40 wins out of that, for sure. So Mickey Dean and this program looks like they definitely will be poised to make the postseason and maybe host a regional there at James B. Moore Field. So going back to baseball, like you just said, boy, it's going to be rough coming down the stretch. You got Alabama this weekend, but you also have LSU and South Carolina coming up, man, and they're two of the best in the country right now.
Thank goodness we got Mississippi State at home in that mix. And Missouri at home.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully we can win those series. And, like I told you off the air, maybe Jason has some news on Gonzalez tomorrow he can share with us.
Maybe so. Maybe we can get an update there because
I'm sunshine pumping, but I'm just
well. I mean, and look, the reality of it is, and again, not making excuses. You can definitely tell the impact on this pitching staff without Joseph Gonzalez, and it messes everybody up down the line. I remember the tennis team at Auburn when I was a senior at Auburn. I was the student SID there, and Auburn lost their number one player. And in tennis, if you lose a guy at the top and you got to move everybody up a position, well, there's a reason somebody was playing 3 and 4.
Absolutely.
And now you got to ask them to play 2 or 1.
Same deal.
I mean, you're not playing equal. I mean, injuries are devastating. It's devastating to pitching rotations. Jim said, how's Auburn tennis doing? That's weird. I just said something about Auburn tennis.
Sure did.
He said, you never update us on that. That is really weird, Jim. I'll have to pull that up here in just a second. As I was the SID when I was the student SID. And again, I remember distinctly, David, how bad that was. I didn't really understand it at the time, but you lose your top guy and you have to move everybody up a position. We got our butts killed, almost every week because of that. So, but just kind of your thoughts on the bad luck of Auburn pitching over the last 4 or 5 years. It seems like our best guy at some point in time gets hurt.
Yeah.
And we've been able to fight through it. But I know you talked to Butch through a text and kind of gave him some words of encouragement. I mean, heck, man, it's lonely when you're losing, man.
Well, every time I end a text with him, I always say, keep grinding. And that's what he does. He talks about competing, we're going to fight. But, Brett, I want to go back to what you talked about right before the break, when the music starts and we're right in the middle of something. I always get frustrated. The umpires, it's an adventure. Because I've been to a lot of the home games. When the umpires are squeezing that strike zone and kids are used to hitting certain spots and those aren't strikes anymore, the plate's only so big.
No doubt.
And with these aluminum bats and these big, athletic, strong guys, I mean, it's like you said, one of the top teams in the country. Florida walked a gazillion guys last weekend.
And 18 walks there.
Yeah.
Jim, asking about the men's tennis program at Auburn, having a pretty good season. They're 17-8 overall, and they're 5-5 in conference. The norms that you would think some of the top programs in the country, Georgia, we lost 6-1 there to the Bulldogs. You look at Florida, who is one of the top programs. Lost 6-1 there, but had a big win here recently over South Carolina, who's number 4 in the country. Beat them 4-3.
Wow!
So just defeated Vanderbilt 4-0, and just recently knocked off Arkansas 4-0, but lost to Alabama 4-3 in a close one there. So got LSU coming up and Texas A&M before the SEC championship on April the 19th. So, Jim, glad you said something about the tennis program. We do not ever say anything about that. But, hey, I enjoyed my time at Auburn working with the tennis program. At that time, Eric Shore was the head coach and, really kind of – I mean, of course, I knew about the game, but being there at all the matches, I did hate to be at one match. There was one match we were playing during the Auburn LSU basketball game when Chris Porter threw that dunk down.
Oh, mercy.
I mean, the tennis courts, were right there beside the Coliseum.
Yeah.
And, you can't really hear anything coming out of that Coliseum. We heard something, and I said, man, something in there just happened. And then lo and behold, because we didn't have smartphones back then, lo and behold, you go back, and ESPN's got that thing on replay all day. Chris Porter dunking that ball, and I'm like, I may have just missed the best play in Auburn history in basketball, and I was out there at the tennis court.
And I got a question for you too, Brett. You and Randy were talking about Mr. Basketball. Charles Barkley?
He did not.
Was it Bobby Lee Hurt that year? Were they in the same class? I need to look that up. What year was his senior year?
Did he not say Buck Johnson got it?
Was it Buck?
Yeah.
Was that the same
Yeah,
year?
it was Buck Johnson, I think.
Because I saw Bobby Lee Hurt.
I think Buck Johnson got it the year Barkley was up for. But no Mr. Basketball ever. That's unbelievable. For some reason, we had manufactured Doc Robinson.
Yeah, I would
but
thought
he,
so.
he didn't win it. Brian Williams did, Jim Davis. So.
Well, I saw Charles Barkley and Bobby Lee Hurt play against one another in Birmingham in a Christmas tournament.
Big time
You're talking
stuff.
about that was the first year with breakaway rims.
We got to get out. Thank you so much for watching.